Hello friends. So yesterday we discussed about installing Android Studio and PHP Storm. Okay, so these both IDEs are from JetBrains. Most of the functionality, keyboard shortcuts, and other prompts are quite similar. Okay, so first we will start with our Android Studio project. We'll be creating new project for Android Studio and write hello world there. Same thing we'll do with PHP. Okay, so yesterday also we discussed about XAMPP server. So we'll be using XAMPP server today. Hope you have set up both the servers on your, uh, both IDs and SDKs for both Android and PHP. Okay, so before we begin, you can join me on Facebook, facebook.com/supersnippets or WhatsApp or Telegram. So my WhatsApp number is this and Telegram channel is @supersnippets. Okay, so let's begin. So once you install Android Studio, you will click on start a new project. Now I am creating empty screen. Activity is nothing but screen. I'll click next. Now here name of my application. So straightforward. It would be hello world. Okay, now this package name is more important for us. Package name is unique identifier for our application. Okay. So right now they mentioned com.example. And then whatever our application name is, you can change it to whatever your company website is, for example supersnippets.com. So your package name would be com.supersnippets.hello world. Okay, or maybe if you are working for some client, you will have his website name. We are using this reverse of domain name because of keeping it unique. Okay, then save location, whatever save location. Okay, now language is Kotlin. Now this is most important part. Okay, we can write our application using Java as well as Kotlin. So we are targeting Kotlin because it is a first class language while writing Android code. Okay. Now minimum SDK. SDK is what? It is set of APIs we have available. Okay. So let's check. Okay. So as you know, we have multiple Android versions available in the market. So for example, we have KitKat, Lollipop, Marshmallow, Oreo, Pie. Okay. So now whenever we consider minimum SDK level, we choose one of these API levels as minimum level. Okay, so for example, if you choose Jelly Bean, its API level is 16 and Android version is 4.1. Okay, and if you target this version, all recent Android versions are supported, and total number of people you will be on which your total number of Android devices on which your application can run is 99.8%. Okay. Similarly, if you choose recent Android versions to support, for example, Marshmallow and beyond, your app will support only 84.9% of Android devices. Okay, so for the mobiles before this Marshmallow version, for example, Lollipop, KitKat, and Jelly Bean, your application will not be visible on Play Store, and even if user tries to download it from somewhere else and try to install it, it will not be supported. Okay, so while choosing which minimum SDK you want to use, just think of how how many number of Android devices you want to support. Okay, now there is one downside as well. For example, if you are supporting API level 16, Android version 4.1, and you are supporting 99.8% devices, but the API or the code functions which are available for you will be really less, because few functions or few APIs which were written for Jelly Bean, few functions or few APIs which are available in Android 10 or Pie will not be available in Jelly Bean. Okay, so you cannot use latest function or latest functionality which will be available in latest version of Android. So we have to go in between to support all the required feature. Okay, so most of the time you can select Android Marshmallow and above, API level 23 and above. Okay, now one more important thing here is you cannot support all the features. Okay, so for example, you can target 99.8% of device, but that is not required, because if you see, these are more than 10 API levels. Okay, so API level 29 is the latest one, and 16 is the lowest one we are available, 15, 16. Okay, so there are around 10, more than 10 number of levels which are available. So you don't have to support all of them. You have to find sweet spot among them. Okay, so uh, Android Marshmallow is moderately new. It has all the APIs, latest APIs which are available, most of them, and then few of the APIs which are backward compatible can be used up till Marshmallow. Okay, so I will be choosing Marshmallow to be used. I'm clicking on OK. Okay, so minimum SDK set, language set, and then package name and application name, and then I'm clicking on finish. Okay, now it will create new project. Until new project gets created, we'll discuss about most important thing, which is language and framework. Okay, so language is what? Language is where you using which you will write code. For example, is Java, Kotlin. Framework is what? Framework is set of APIs or functions written using the language. Okay, so now if you consider Android framework, okay, you will find Java and many other languages included at the base level. Okay, similar thing goes for PHP. Okay, so PHP is a language, and then framework, if you consider, you have Code Igniter, Laravel, Lumen, and then many others. Okay, so language is a basic code construct, and then framework is set of functionality which is developed using that language. Okay, so right now we are using Kotlin for developing Android applications. Previously, it is being done using Java, and for PHP, we will be using CodeIgniter and Laravel framework. Okay, so now our new project is ready. Most important thing here is, first and foremost thing we'll look at is the project structure. Okay, so here you have options, either select Android or project. Okay, so these are views or file hierarchy in which we can see our project. Okay, so if we check physical hierarchy, in hello world folder we have .gradle file, .idea file, and then these files. Okay, you can directly go here using show in explorer option. Okay, so hello world is available here, so you have these files available. Okay, so we are not going into more details immediately, but as and when required I will be telling you their importance. Okay, so most of the time we will be using Android view or Android perspective, where files will be arranged using this style. Okay, so let's discuss this. There are two main things here. One is our application or a module, and second thing is Gradle scripts. Now Gradle scripts are used to build our project. So any project we will be having, we have to build that project and create an executable file. Okay, so to build this project, these scripts are here, which will help building this project. And then there will be our main code. Okay, so in our code, we'll have source code which is available. Okay, then we will have resources. Now resources will have layouts, screen layouts, then our application icons, launcher icons, then drawables. Drawables are nothing but images and shapes, and then values. For example, colors, strings, and styles. Okay, so these all things we will be discussing as a separate thing. And then most important thing is manifest. Now, what is manifest? Manifest will contain application structure. Okay, so for example, the package of your application, then theme of your application, name of your application, and then launcher icon it has to use, rounded icon, and similar things. Again, manifest file will contain application permissions. For example, this permission and then internet. Okay, so permission, then metadata. For example, if any library is requiring any data from your module, so you will add that metadata here, and then your application components. Okay, so you cannot use your application component without registering it here. Okay, so what you will do, you will add, for example, your activity, then name of that class, and then complete of this activity. Now intent filter is most important thing here. Intent filter is the way you will invoke that component or the functionality that component is supporting. For example, what our this activity is supporting launching event. Okay, so whenever launch event occurs, that event will be passed on to our main activity. Okay, now another important thing here is name. Okay, so what it contains is it contains a class path. Now you already mentioned package name here, so you will be using relative path. The other way is you can specify entire path here. Okay, so then also it will work. But anyways, we can use relative path, so we don't have to write everything here. Okay, so this is directly dot main activity. Again, if you specify dot, then it will suggest as well. Okay, so for example, if you are having multiple activities, you can just mention them. Okay, so for example, code completion feature is available. So these are various number of application components which are available. So out of that we are using activity, then its class file, and then close of this node. Now we already mentioned activity here, so we are getting error here, duplicate registration. Okay, okay, so this dummy project is ready. Now to run this project, either you can use your phone or you can use simulator. Now what you can do, now you don't have created simulator yet, so let's create it. Open AVD manager. AVD is nothing but Android virtual device manager. Okay, so here what you can do, create virtual device, then whatever type of device you have. Okay, so I want to create, for example, a phone with Pixel 3 Pixel 3 XL kind of frame, having your display density as 400 dpi. Screen resolution will be this 6-inch screen. I will click next. Then API level. We discussed about this sometime before. Okay, so I have already downloaded API level Q, API level 29, Android version Q. So I will be using this, and then I will click next. Now you can download latest one or older one as per your requirement. I will click next. Okay, now AVD name. So this is name of the virtual device you will be seeing here, and then you will click finish. Now I'm already having one Android virtual device with me, so I will not be creating this. So I will click cancel. Okay, again you can change its orientation and all those things. So everything is visible here. Click on finish so that that virtual device will be created for your machine. I'm clicking cancel here because it is already present. Okay, so let's run our project. So I clicked play button. Now I don't want to debug it right now. Okay, otherwise I have clicked this. Okay, then again there are shortcut keys. So until this virtual device starts, let's discuss about our IDE. Okay, so I'll say the IDE we have Android Studio and other IDEs which are created by JetBrains. I think they are most intelligent in a way that they support most of the development features which are available. So, for example, code completion is there. Code completion is available everywhere, but I will show few examples as and when we go forward. Okay, and then there are n number of other options which are available. Most important is whenever we are using Git. So smart checkout is available. Then you have terminal available here itself. Okay, so you can run any command you want. You don't have to open separate prompt. By default, this terminal will open at root folder of your project. Okay, and then most important thing we will be using is shortcuts. Okay, so for example, if we want to perform any action, Control Shift A is a shortcut key to perform any action. You want to open any file, Control Shift N. Okay, and just type on file name. For example, if we want to open some shape. Okay, so means what your file name. Okay, so for example, in resources, we discussed about the shape. Okay, so this is shape for our launcher. So if I want to open it using this shortcut, I will type IC and it will suggest. Okay, so I will open whatever file I want. Same thing for recent files. Okay, so for example, I close this manifest file. If I want to open recent files, Control E is the shortcut key. So the recent files which we opened will be listed here. Okay, so you can just search for Android Studio keyboard shortcuts.